Hello friends, welcome to QApedia and this is our blog qapedia.com. Today we are going to cover this topic Selenium with JavaScript first test script. So we are going to write and run our first test script in Selenium with JavaScript. So the topics that we will be covering are creating our first test script and then running our first test script and then summary of the session. So let's start our first topic, creating our first test. For that, what we need to do, we need to go to VS Code, Visual Studio Code, and we have to open our demo project or any project that we have created. That particular project we have to open in Visual Studio Code. We have to open that folder actually. In that folder, we need to see if our package.json file is available or not, and then we need to check for node underscore modules. It is having all the npm packages or not. So let's do this. So let's open our project in Visual Studio Code. So let's go to our Visual Studio Code, and here what we need to do. So here what we need to do, we need to go to file and we have to click on this particular link, open folder, and whichever project is there, suppose this is our project folder, new Selenium Pro, then click on this select folder and then this will be opened. I have already opened it, so I'm not going to do it, and we will just see it. We will just see our required things. So the required things are, we need to check for package.json file. So let's check our package.json file. This is our package.json file. So in this package.json file, we are having dependencies. Selenium WebDriver is there. Then we should go to node modules, and in node modules also we can see a lots of npm packages, and we can see Selenium WebDriver is there. These two things we need to check. After that, what we need to do, we have to create a new folder in our project. We'll name that folder as test. Let's do that. So this is the thing to create a new folder. Click on this and a new folder will be created. We will give it a name as test. Now in this particular folder, we need to create a new file. So we'll keep all our test files in our this folder. Now inside this folder, we need to create a new file, and that file will be, we'll give it a name as first test.js. So create a new file and we'll give it a name as first test.js. So this is our file and this file has been created. Now what we need to do, now we should start writing our script. We should have somewhat JavaScript knowledge. If we don't have also, no need to worry, we'll be able to understand everything. So let's write our first test script, and in our first test script we are only going to see that how can we launch a browser, how can we navigate to our application in that particular browser using Selenium with JavaScript, and how can we close the browser. So how can we launch a browser, how can we navigate to application, and how can we close the browser. These things we are going to see. Okay, so let's write our first statement, and in this statement what we need to do, we need to import Selenium WebDriver, and we need to import some constants from Selenium WebDriver in our test file. So let's do that. Constant, then curly braces, and inside those we need to write builder and browser. We will need these two constants for now. Equals to require the single quotes and then Selenium WebDriver. This is our first statement. That's what we have written. Then we have to write some code for launch browser, navigate to the application, closing the browser, and that code we can write inside a function only. So let's write a function, an asynchronous function. We need to write inside a double quote async function, and we'll give it a name as example1, and That's it. Inside this particular block we need to write our script. Let's write our script. The first thing that we are going to write is launch the browser. So let's write in the comment section, launch the browser, and we'll write here let driver equals to await new builder. This is the builder that we were importing it from Selenium WebDriver. Builder dot for browser, and inside this bracket we have to write the browser name. So browser dot, let's say Chrome. We are going to use Chrome browser, and then dot build. This is our first statement. This is the statement for launching the browser. So we have written our first statement. Now let's try to run this. So for running this, first we need to save it, and after saving it we need to run it in this particular terminal. Okay, so we can run this using a command called node, and then we have to give the path of our file. So the path of our file is tests/firsttest.js. Now let's press enter, and our script will run and a browser will launch. That's what our script was. Launch a browser, and it is a Chrome browser. We can see that Chrome is being controlled by automated test software. That's it. Now we have written the script for Chrome browser. We can write it for Firefox browser also. Browser dot Firefox, and now run it, and after running again try to run it, and we'll write the command again for running it, node test/first.test.js. Now run it, and let's see what is happening. So we can see now Firefox is open. So now Firefox window is open using our automation test software. So we can see our Mozilla Firefox has been open. So yeah, this is the first statement that we have written. Now let's write our second statement. What is our second statement? Navigate to the application. So write that statement, navigate to application, and for that we need to write await driver dot get, and we need to write the URL in single quotes. What is the URL? The URL that we are going to use is this one, google.com. Copy it, then save it, and now run it. So browser will open and google.com will also open. So you can see google.com has been opened. So our second statement is also passed. Now let's write the third statement, closing the browser, because the browser is opening but it's not closing automatically. We are closing it manually. So let's write script for closing the browser. Close the browser, await driver dot close, and that's it. This is our script. So save it and then run it. Now if we are running it, then it is going to google.com and it is closing automatically. We are not closing it, it's closing automatically. So we have run the script for Firefox. We will run entire script for now Chrome, browser.chrome, and save it, and after saving it we will run it again, and yeah, this is going to open, and yeah, it is closing. So now we are almost done. So now what we'll do, we were opening google.com until now. Now let's open one more application, which is a demo e-commerce application, and the URL for that is this one, qpdemoecommerce.com. So control C and paste it here and then save it, and after saving it, let's run it. Yeah, this is our script, and then enter, and yeah, it is opening. qpdemoecommerce.com is opening and it is closing automatically. So this is how our script is working fine. This is how we write our first test script in Selenium with JavaScript, and this is how we run it. So let's go back to our blog. Now next topic was running our script, so we have already run it, we don't have to see that. And then summary of this session is like we have covered two topics: writing our first test script and running our first test script. So these two topics are done. That's it for this video. Thank you very much, and if you want notes, you can go to this particular blog. Thank you.